Well, I'm leaving the trail, although it does imply that the trail goes this way. But there might be a few warning signs that maybe I shouldn't take this pseudo trail. Those skulls are always kind of meant to be a deterrent. But, well, I'm following the blue trail. Oh, there's been some hogs here. And I just heard something in the bushes kind of far away. I thought it was a deer, but considering these are fairly fresh, maybe a day or so old, of a hog playing in the wallow here, maybe that was just a really big, holy crap, a big-ass hog. Well, I must admit, I thought my crappy little map was telling me that there was a lower riverside trail here, but it looks like it's going to be a bob trail rather than a park trail. So if you're wondering, it's been a while, and we were supposed to have an American Herbalist Guild camping trip this weekend, but I think too close to the holidays, and people, oh, these are really fresh boar wallows. And I was teaching the Western Herbal 101 class yesterday, and Ruthie's teaching today, so I had the day off, and I told them that I would do an herb walk. Well, oh, I hear him there to the right. All right, let's see if I can get across this little mud pond. Go see if I can find what's making that noise. So, I had scheduled to come and do an herb walk for them here at the group campground, and even though they canceled, I decided, what the heck, I needed to explore this park. Oh, that was a little harder with a backpack on. And so it turns, oh my God, look at this beautiful fern. Sorry, we're going to zoom in on this. Oh, we lost some of our focus. So, I'm not sure. I don't know my ferns very well. I'll have to research that little booger later. So, I decided that I don't remember if I had explored much of Little Manatee State Park. Oh, that looks like a trail. I'm not sure it was for humans, but it's a trail. And I'd never been to the group campground, so I came down here and parked at the equestrian parking because it wasn't clear exactly where we were supposed to park if we came down this way. And boy, this is not an impressive trail. And what's that? Look, poop. That's pretty good sized poop. Maybe 2 days old. A little big for a deer. So, not quite sure whose poop that is. Maybe we'll find out. So, I went ahead and made it out to the group campground and followed a nice little road to, oh look, there's the river, I think. There's something. Let's go see what that is. Wow, look at that smilax. Oh. And I saw that there was a little trail off to the side. So I decided to follow it, and it was kind of a boring, it was nice, but it was a wide trail, kind of cleared. And figured I'd just keep going. I had another trail, and I had my sights on. You know, and I forget the dude's name, that he's got lots of fun reels and little short YouTube videos. And if you see a body of water in Florida and you wonder if there's an alligator, you put your finger in, you see if it's wet. Yep, if it's wet, there's a gator. So this is a fun little mud puddle. Probably got something in there that'll bite you. All right, let's see if I can find my way around this. And, well, I followed that path all the way around until it kind of, there's a tree down, and I checked my crappy little map that you get at the front entrance. And, well, I'll tell you what, that map was not impressive. I think I can get through here. And yeah, that's some high stuff in there. And so I followed it, and boy, it sure looked like after you follow the fence line for a bit, that it would have this lower river. Whoops. Sorry, y'all fell out of my hand. And so, you know, I was gonna wait till there was a place that was a little more clear before I turned on the video. But then when I saw the skulls and saw that I probably wasn't actually following a path, I thought maybe I'd just go ahead and record it. So if I don't make it back by dark, y'all know where to look for the body. I think I'm heading towards the river. I just took a right at the end of the trail that starts, you know, with the skulls. Oh, see, we got a nice wide open area here. Well, this is a super highway. Whew. Oh, yay, some people are on here. Oh. Oh. Ah. All right. Well, you know, I guess I must have anticipated. Ooh, is that hog plum? Ooh, I think it is. I must have anticipated doing a little bit of off-road here, because usually I don't wear my boots. I actually put my boots on today. Whew. Wow. Oh, this is just a nice place to put up a hammock. If I'd only had one, I'd take a nap. Well, for any of you who don't know, that's poison ivy. It's everywhere, it's everywhere. Sometimes it's got a red stem, but on this one, it doesn't. But you do see the classic leaves of three. A few of them have the little bit of a red on it. All right. Well, a little less hog wallow here. Ooh, little baby oxalis. There's a little would you? Oh, that's some fresh digging there. You can kind of tell not a lot of crumbs down there. So I'm really close to some hogs. Wow, look at these trees that came down in the storm. These root balls are almost twice my height. Let's see if I can, how do I turn the picture around so you can see? One of these buttons, aha, there we go. Wow, that's an upturned tree, and a huge one at that. And then there's another one going in the other direction. I think I'm gonna, let's see if I can put that back. I'm gonna climb up here and see if I can see where I'm at. All right, so I'm gonna put you all down for a minute. Hey, David. Hey, Kim. I see lots of folks on here now. All right, it's a party. Let's see if I got something solid to grab onto that's not a snake. That looks pretty solid. All right, now I got the penthouse. Whew. I made it to the top of the root ball. And I got a pretty good bridge here. I just got to make it past this little branchy stuff. Ooh. It's only about 10 feet down. So, ooh, that's not a very strong branch. This is where all that Tai Chi pays off. Wow, look at that old snag. That's really cool looking. All right. Whew. I may have to sit down. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see, but about 25 feet over there is a bunch of lizard tail. So kind of a heart-shaped leaf. It likes shadier stuff, antimicrobial, analgesic, actually, topically and internally. Almost some of the same properties that we might find in Guava. Not that like emotional relaxation, anti-anxiety, but definitely some of the antispasmodic pain. Nice aromatic. Definitely likes the wet feet. Oh, who's this? I think this is hemp vine. I know it has some properties, but I haven't looked at hemp vine at all. But I do know it has pretty blue flowers. Oh. All right. So, I might stop and catch my breath here. Since I got a little seat. Oh, that's not a good seat. Look at that. If I walked on that, I'd follow my ass. All right. So, howdy do, y'all. So, let's see if we can see where I am. I just walked along my little tightrope here, and I was hoping to maybe spot those critters walking around. It's definitely opened up as I've gotten away from that first little clump of madness that I walked through. And boy, it's probably been, I bet you it's been a good 3 or 4 years maybe since I did this. This kind of happened a while back, and it was a beautiful day like today. And if you're not outside, you ought to get outside and stop watching me. But I'd gone up to the Hillsborough River, and I was going to go canoeing, but it seemed that the canoe rental place there was closed. So I decided, well, what the heck? I had planned to just stop and get a few wild oranges that were growing a mile or so down the trail. And even though all I had was my my docksiders on, and I think maybe I had a bottle of water if I was lucky, I decided I was going to walk on down through the swamp because there was no trail, and had a blast, found some wild boar, chased them around, and did most of it on here. So I decided, what the hell, as long as I was up here, kind of the same thing, decided we're not doing an herb walk en masse. So it's a Bob herb walk, and I'll share a little bit of my fun along the way here. I got a pretty good battery, so we'll see how long it lasts, and I have no idea how the reception's doing here. David Jordan, dang, long time no see, dude. All right, enough of this resting stuff. Let's see if I can get my ass off of here the safe way. I need a third hand. All right, I'm going to put you guys back to seeing what I'm seeing. Oh, I got to get my ass turned around. It's always the trick getting around these vines while you're 10 feet up in the air, walking a damn tree. Ooh, nice palm there. Oops. Yeah, I guess oops is a bad word while you're doing this, huh? All right, one more. What happened there? All right, got to get one more foot over. All right. Whew. That was a tough little stop. I think I hear an airboat, so sounds like I'm about a half mile from the little Manatee River. You know, last spring I decided to do a fun little excursion. I went from the Okefenokee Swamp and paddled down to the Swanee River, paddled about 100 miles, and just brought water with me and a knife, and decided to live off the land and test some of those skills out. And I was thinking about how much fun I had doing that. And all right, I got to figure out how to get down here. And that'll hold me. And I decided that, as much as I love me some canoeing, thought I might do it backpacking this year, either over Christmas holiday. Oh, look at that. I switched back to me. Ha! Let's go back to the woods. The woods are way more interesting than me. I want to go check out that patch. Oh, there's a nice little trail going that way. I thought I might do it backpacking. So that looks more like No, maybe that is, it could be a, oh yeah, that's a deer. All right, that looks like a small deer came popping through here last 24 hours. See if we can find some of those too. So, it's like I thought about it, it's like I hadn't done any serious backpacking or had a ruck on my back in a really long time. Oh yeah. So this is definitely the lizard tail. Let's see if there's a flower to kind of demonstrate it. And whoops, continue. No, I want to continue broadcasting. So you can kind of see the way this is arranged. You usually find them kind of in the swampy parts. And got a nice aromatic smell. Can you smell them? A little smell-o-vision there. Which way should we go? I think we'll take the left fork here. Let's hope we don't find any water moccasins here. You know, the nice thing about rattlesnakes is to tell you if you're about to step on their butt. Cottonmouths, if you're lucky enough to see their cottony mouth, you're good. But if you don't see it, you just piss them off. This is definitely prime territory for those little boogers. My favorite thing to do. Do y'all think that little tree bridge is safe? Because that's the only way across here. That's a beautiful stream. It's actually flowing. I wonder if there's a spring fed. It's so clear. Yeah. Let's see how solid this little booger is. I have this kind of thing when I see a log crossing a body of water that I have any inkling that I can get across. I have a really hard, it's only shaking a little bit, I have a really hard time passing it up. So my concern is, that branch that's on the ground, I kind of need to walk on that. I don't know if that can help. I don't know if that could hold me up or not. Oops. There we go. Well, if you hear a splash, I'm going to try to save the phone. Oh, come on, Tai Chi. Oh. Trying to put a little bit of weight on this upper branch. Ooh, there's a pretty mushroom there. It's an old Ganoderma. Oh, hallelujah. All right, looks like we're back in the hog tracks. Lots of cypress knees here to trip me and impale me like a bad vampire. I think this is back towards the river. Ooh, this is a small patch of pellitory of the wall. We know it as cucumber weed around here. Super yummy, nice gentle lymphatic and gentle urinary, good for the prostate, and tastes pretty yummy. Ooh, I hadn't been looking for any mushrooms yet. Definitely might be some mushrooms out here. Hey, Chandra. Yeah, I've only found the chicken of the woods a couple times. Wow, this is a huge field of the lizard tail. I've only found the chicken of the woods a couple times, but this would be the time of year and some prime hunting ground for chicken of the woods. It's super yummy. Hey, Jennifer. If I can get through this way. It's funny, I don't know if the lizard tail, I totally don't remember the Latin name, I apologize. I believe this is yellow jessamine, which is compared to curare, like probably a couple leaves of that would kill you. It's a homeopathic remedy that's used for pain. It's a low-dose botanical medicine that's used for, there's another one of those beautiful, wow, I totally got to figure out what this is. Absolutely stunning. This is that little golden brown, oh, there's a good shot of it. That's the spores that come off of the whatever you call that, fern. Oh, wow, there's just tons of them around here. And the problem is a lot of ferns are at least really hard on the digestion. A few are toxic. And so because I don't know my ferns as well as I ought to, wow, there's a whole field of them. I'm not going to nibble on that, as tempting as it is. Oh yeah, this is all yellow jessamine. So it's very easy to confuse that with the stink vine, what I call a fart vine. That they grow in similar locations. I've even found them wrapped up with each other, but the leaf arrangement is different. The flower, if you're lucky enough to find the flower on it, is different. And one smells like a fart, and the other one doesn't. Man, look at this smilax. I bet you there's a big bow hunkin'. Wow, I know I'm like probably 100 feet from a wild boar. I just don't hear them yet. There's a pine tree down from the hurricanes, I'm guessing. Wow, got some daylight out here. Huh. See, maybe this really was a trail. It looks like it's opening up. Listen for that rattlesnake rattle. Because boy, that sure looked like a place I would be if I was a rattlesnake. So all these palmettos, and is this a saw palmetto? No, this is just it's a regular edible palmetto. Oh, that is a saw palmetto. Wrong time of year for the fruit to be on there, and now protected. You have to get a permit to harvest saw palmetto around here. Theoretically, even off your own property. Obviously, there's no saw palmetto police checking your personal property. But because there was so many people were illegally harvesting from state lands. Hell, I even saw them in our city park at one point. Well, look at that. That kind of looks like a trail. See, you never know what you're going to find. So as I was walking out here, there's a ton of gopher turtle holes and some blood. There was a lot of blueberry bushes. No blueberries on them yet. It's a little early in the season, but because we do our school, the Western herbal students get to do a canoe trip. The Chinese herbal students can if they want to, because it's fun. Oh, look, here's blueberries. Let's see if there's any early blueberries on here. It's funny. This is all the shiny blueberries. It doesn't even look like there's any fruit on there. I'm used to finding these in more like May or June, but you never know. Sometimes you just luck out. But it looks like no joy today. But we used to always do the Hillsborough River, and I've pretty much memorized the whole Hillsborough River. I've been paddling that for so long. And when they closed the canoe rental place, oh, there's some more of that yellow jessamine. There's a nice big vine of it. I regularly get requests to harvest some roots of that for people to make medicine. And I had some growing at the house. Unfortunately, I lost it in the storm. I was just getting ready to be able to harvest it. Well, thought I heard somebody. Well, something. And you know, technically it is illegal to harvest here from any state park without permission of at least the rangers. And sometimes if you present yourself correctly and kind of tell them exactly what you're doing and who you are, sometimes they're pretty good about telling you a particular area that they're okay with you harvesting. Sometimes if you're trying to harvest invasive, they'll actually encourage it. Wow, this is all the jessamine. Wow, that's a ton. And this is saw palmetto. You can see like these little brown branches are where the fruit usually are, but it hasn't put out anything. It's not even got any of the flower stalks coming out yet. So It's just insects. They're no fun. Although they do make tasty treats. Oh, there's a mushroom. You know, and I still need to learn my mushrooms better. But there's a nice little mushroom. I am a fan of doing spore prints when you're not 100% sure. And then sometimes you'll get some cool colorations when you break it like that. That'll give you a hint as to what it is. But unfortunately, I suck at mushrooms, so I won't just settle for, that was pretty. Bugs aren't too bad out here. Happy to say, a couple of little biters running around, but they haven't been too vicious. And this kind of pseudo trail I'm on is kind of nice, but I kind of like being in the middle of the swamp there, so I may go back in that little hollow in a little bit. This is not as thrilling, and I think that's where all the wild critters are, back in there. So if I hear somebody running around in there, I'm gonna dodge into the bushes there. I may drop the backpack to see what I can catch, as backpack slows me down a little bit when there isn't a trail. Get caught up on all those wait a minute vines. And I always say, hey, Tori. Oh, this is hog plum. I think, again, it's a little, we usually find in the springtime, this will have a really sour fruit. And there should be thorns on here. Usually the thorns are huge. And this is, oh yeah, there's the thorns attached to the leaves. Even the thorns are a little small. This is a huge one. This is a bigger bush than I'm used to finding. So you can technically eat the hog plums, but they're super sour. You can use them to stop diarrhea. Both the leaves, the bark, and even the fruit will slow your poop down. Oh, and this is the winged sumac. So it gets a yummy edible fruit on there. Sumac is food and medicine. It's funny, we know it more from, even though there's sumacs, poisonous ones and non-poisonous, but there's more non-poisonous than there's poisonous. The native cultures around the Americas used it all the time, but we seems like the only people who use sumac anymore are crazy herbalists, and it's really just nice out here. And we see a lot of Middle Eastern cooking uses the sumac, but the berries makes a good sumac aid. It's like a lemonade. It's lovely, cooling and astringent. But the leaves, bark, and roots, look at this. This is one of my favorites. This is St. John's wort. So this is one of the many Florida varieties of St. John's wort that we have going on here. And we're just starting to get a better understanding. I have not worked with our local species of St. John's wort, but my understanding is it doesn't have the, oh shit, look what I just found. It doesn't have the cool flower on it, but this is, I didn't bring my knife with me. How big a clump is this? So, you know, anytime you're messing with plants in the wild, there's only one. You don't want to dig it up. And I won't call these rare, but we'll say they're not common. But blackroot, I'm going to say it's mildly toxic. It looks like there's a couple in this area. So I'm not going to harvest it, but I am going to dig it up just to show you all this cool plant. This is one we used to find on the camping trip. And it's used for some deep-seated cough issues. It can be used for, holy shiza, it can be used for things like Crohn's disease. It's got a really cool flower. If you look this up, and so the root is the part that's used primarily. You won't find a lot of research on this. I had a few growing, but it has this very hard, this is like hard as a rock, you can't really tell, tuber, and they're always kind of near wet areas, but they're usually in the drier area, although this is pretty wet soil up here, probably left over from the storm. You can see some little pups starting here, but I'm going to put this guy back. Oh yeah, I was going to say, this seemed like it was awfully big for that small root. Usually the roots are like bigger than a golf ball. And so that was a pup off the main root. Some more St. John's wort, it looks like. You know, I brought gloves with me in case I got out here doing this, and I'm not smart enough to put the damn things on. Wow, look at all the St. John's wort. All these little yellow flowers are all St. John's wort. They're so distinct. There's kind of like the stamen just popping out of there like fireworks in this bright sunny yellow. It's kind of how I always think about it. It's like it makes your gloomy days bright and sunny and sparkly. Oh, there's some more of the black root. Uh-oh. So that's interesting. So that disturbed soil looks really fresh. It's odd. It almost looks like a drag mark. I don't see any blood. I don't know whether we have... I don't think any of the Florida panthers are around here, but boy, this sure looks like somebody got dragged through here. It's not a big enough. There's some tracks. Something's making a ruckus in here, and that soil, the disturbed soil, has even got a little moisture still to it. So it's been today since sunrise. Oh, dang. I don't see any bear tracks, but that's a swath that's big enough to be a bear. Hope he doesn't want my protein bars I got in my backpack. It's funny, this cool little plant, and I totally don't remember its name, but that can be used as smudge and burns a lot like desert sage, and used in a similar way. There's the pretty little yellow flower off of it, so different from our St. John's wort. And yeah, you know, sometimes I just don't remember their names, but I know what they look like. They got pretty stink to them. There's some more of our sumac. The red color just pops out on there. Flutterbys. Hey, Laura. Yeah, lots of folks showing up. It's a party. So I appreciate y'all, you know, that lazy Sunday that I decided not to be lazy and joining me on my hike. Oh, look, we got snacks. Snacks. Ooh, 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 ooh. So, prickly pears. So, again, I didn't bring my knife with me, but you can really eat all parts of this. The paddles, yeah, the easiest way, like there are tiny little spiky things there, so you have to either cut those off, which is a pain in the ass. The easiest way to work with the paddles, and it's not a nopali, but you can eat it like a nopali, is to just grill it. And this, you can see where there's those little collections of spines. I remember as a kid, the first time I got this, I didn't think those were significant, and I just chowed on it and ended up with a mouthful of just those stuck in my pie hole. So, God, that's perfectly right. And, you know, you can eat the seeds. It's super yummy. It's kind of like a more sweet than sour. But usually you spit the seeds out. Helps to spread the cactus. Gopher turtles love this. Sorry, I'm sucking all the good stuff off the seeds. A lot of people would just gather these up and push it through a cloth or a really fine mesh screen and just make a juice of that. Super yummy. The cactus paddles, I love those grilled. Yeah, that was like perfect ripe. Ooh, ow. My little Smilax bit me. Oh, wow. Look at that, just collection of bright little yellow flowers. Stunning. I think this time of year it's probably, if we're lucky, I might find a patch of epazote out here. I haven't seen any yet, but epazote is my go-to anti-parasitic, also a yummy spice. Now I'm just drooling from that cactus. Sorry, I'm trying to get every last little nibble off of that. I don't get the prickly pear fruit very often. Ooh, who's that? Oh, well, there is my deadly poison. There's a fruit. And it's funny, I don't know. Okay, yeah, so the fruit is not part of the yellow jessamine. What is this? Well, you know what? I don't know what that fruit is. Oh, wow, there's a bunch more. Well, as much as I wish it looks super snackable, I am not familiar with this little fun bush, so I'm not going to eat these. Bummer. I bet you they taste good. These are like, what is this? The fetter bush. And it's a really common one, really pretty. It's got cool little blooms on it, and I don't know it to be food or medicine. Ooh, here's a little Smilax snack, and you can see that kind of coppery color on the leaves. Usually means it's the tender greens. Half of it is tender. Ooh, somebody's been playing in here. That's a pretty old little wallow there. Yeah, this is all pretty old. More saw palmetto. Definitely a little bit easier hiking on this old abandoned trail, but I think I may have to go back in and explore the fun stuff some more here. I'm assuming my river's over on the side. There's some more of the shiny blueberry. Oh, there's fruits trying to form, but they're not even close. That needs more months. I usually find those on the edge of forest in the full sun, frequently along the riverbanks like this. Well, I will say my first real exploration of the animals definitely use this. This is a super highway for the animals. Ooh. Oh, we got to go off trail and see what this little animal trail takes us. And I'm super happy with what I'm finding here just on this one little small trail that was not even well rated. Probably because I'm not on the trail anymore, but super interesting. Ooh, more prickly pears. Try not to kick those. That might sting. Huh. It's funny, you can really tell a lot of somethings or a frequent something runs through here on this little trail. But the footprints are so small I can't really tell. Now we're getting into more piney stuff. Ooh, nice little campground right here. All right, where do these little boogers go? Is it that way or that way? Huh. Stupid ticks. I mean, mosquitoes. I was thinking tick whilst I said mosquito. Oh, another little observation post here. This was not the preferred pathway, I think. We conveniently down pine tree. Ooh, bunch of little crapping mushrooms on here. Ow, 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 ow. Oh. Nope. This one's a little bit more narrow. See? Now I can see the pathway. Whoa. It's a down pine tree that it's not as stable as my last little... Uh-oh, I may go down here. But that looks like that's the way to go. And Meryl, how are you, stranger? When you coming back stateside? All right. Pardon me whilst I jump. It's funny. I always, all of us as we're doing our cool little herb walkies and stuff, our tendency is to sit there and talk about all the cool little small plants and pretty flowers and aromatics and stuff we find on the ground. And we always forget to talk about the trees and things like how oak, all of them, not just white oak, are lovely astringent herb that we can do a sitz bath, when you sit your ass in it. Or we can drink a little bit for that kind of loose bowels, especially after like food poisoning or something. The pine is just lovely to, holiday times like this. Ooh. Oh, nope, that's not what I thought it was. The pine, you can just put a handful of pine needles and stuff into a pot of water and just simmer it in your on your stove to give you that Christmas tree smell. Wow, all kinds of downed cool stuff here. And but pine is also, it's really good for respiratory stuff. It's really good for some really interesting little beautyberry. That's all that's left of the berries on this, but beautyberry is a great insect repellent, as well as for a wet cough. But the pine is also, especially the inner sections of the joint, so specifically where a joint is in the tree, is used for weather-related pain, arthritis. The pine sap can be used. That's just a freaking cool snag. It's stark white gray on the background of all green. Sorry, I'm usually entertained by that. Lots more of the hog bush. And downside of those hog plums is those thorns hurt. And they are used for more, as I walk through it right now, you can use the thorns in a lot of magical practices, kind of to pull stuff out, if you will. Well, I'm not going to have to donate blood this month. I'm losing plenty. Oh, here, let's get a little side snack. So, I love my palmettos, and this is saw palmetto. You can tell by these really sawtooth sharp edges, and also on the frond you see how it's a flat tip here, but the center, if I'm lucky, and these will slice you up. There we go, and you just pull out one of the center ones, and this is basically heart of palm. It's a lovely snack. And so I get to chew that. If I had a knife, I'd scrape these thorns off so I don't slice myself up. But if we had a lot of bugs and flies, this makes for a good thing to chase away the buggies. But a fun little snack there. And just eat the soft parts. If I didn't have my hands full, I'd probably sit there and keep noshing on it just because I'm usually like to chew on it. This looks like an active gopher turtle. So yeah, I've seen a ton of these. So this is a burrowing tortoise, because it does not live in the water at all. I think I'm going to try to get up on that pine tree so I can get a better view of what's going on. Obstacles here. Boy, this is the narrowest log yet. Let's see if that Tai Chi pays off today. Or whether I face plant into the dirt. Stop and stare. There's another really cool snag. Whoa, oh, almost went down. Wow, you can really see where the winds from the storm came through here from the hurricane. Milton, this area probably got hit harder than anywhere else. I would not be surprised if the eye passed directly over the park here. Oh, wow, look at that tree. Probably a foot around, literally snapped like a twig. Crazy. All right, how do I get down from here? Ooh, looks like really nice hiking there. All right, let's see. Sorry, y'all get the external dialogue. Whoa. Ah. Ah. I guess it's the internal dialogue taken externally or something. Just everyone's entertainment, including my own. Huh. Ah. Ow. It's funny, nope, that's not going. I couldn't find the group campground. I'd walked by it. And I was starting to make the same loop a second time, so I found the camping area ground host. And he implied there was a trail. This is clearly not a trail. Feel like I'm half drunk. Whoa, walking through here. Backpack told me to slow down. That's fascinating little, I'm not even sure what that is. It's a piece of pine with almost looks like a fungus or a knot. It would make a really good club. You know, next time I need to have a hand-to-hand battle, I've already got myself something to knock everybody out with. I don't think I'm going to try to knock any wild boar out. That almost looks like, I'm not going to stick my hand in there, but this little scar in the tree, that almost looks like an old beehive in there. If it was, it's not active now. I don't see any more up there. Some bracken fungus up there. You know, the worst part is, somehow, I'm going to have to figure out how to get out of here at some point. No, wait a minute, vines. I got to high step that. You know, usually I have to go and say hi and bye to all my new 101 students. It was a really interesting crowd that we had. Ooh, what's that? Almost looks like a Dioscorea, some sort of wild yam. We do have 2 species of wild yam here, but we also have the invasive air potato, which is not considered edible, sadly, although it is a Chinese herb, I believe. But I would be surprised if there was wild yam out, or the air potato this far out. Whew. Boy, there will be a tick check tonight. I've stopped to check a few times just to see if they're crawling around on me, but so far I haven't found any of the little creepy crawlers. And if you don't know it, we have no shortage of ticks here in Florida. And we do have Lyme disease. And there's a possibility. Oh, there are thorns on that Smilax. Ow. I'm glad I'm not wearing shorts today. And stuff for snack, though. Look, that's some perfect Smilax. Tender snacks. Ooh, and I think I found a trail. Maybe it'll get me some easier walking. Hello. see if there's any interesting animal trails going any which way. Like, what did that dragging? Huh. What did I just hear? Don't hear it now. Oh, let's take the easy trail for a little bit. You know what would really suck while I was out here? If I lost my car keys and had to go find them again. So, here's a beautyberry a little late in the season. So, they're past their prime, but, ooh, that looks like a little hickory nut down there. Must be a hickory tree nearby. Oh, yeah, right there. So, usually I like them a little bit darker and fresher, but I'll give them a taste. I usually like them. Oh, those are actually really good. There's a aromatic to them. And so, usually these leaves are a lot bigger. Here's a young one resprouting. Insect repellent for wet cough. Yummy roadside snack. The purple, as a general rule, anytime you see purple in fruit, it's high in anthocyanins. There's your $5 word for the day. And generally, those are really good anti-inflammatories. Purple tends to be good for the eyes in particular. Think blueberries, your purples and blues both. Oh no, there's an active gopher turtle hole. You can see it's got a nice little slide in there. Lots of footprints. And it's funny, you can read a little bit about gopher tortoises, there we go. I've been yelled at before for calling them turtles, but whatever. They're all little turtles to me. But there's specific snakes that like to live in that hole, and specific burrowing mice that all kind of have this cohabitation in the gopher turtle holes, as well as if a gopher turtle abandons it, there's always any range of critters that'll take up residence in it as well. There's really cool holes, and you find them. And I haven't found any of them walking around yet. Usually you can hear them. They're little noisy boogers going through the brush. There's some big leaves for, oh, that's so funny. Looks like those, more of the beautyberry. And you hear all the time, you're like, oh, don't mistake the poke for the beautyberry. Well, I haven't found any poke out here yet, but I'm not quite sure how anybody would mistake them. They're larger purple berries on a stalk on the end of the thing, end of the branch. Ooh, more hog wallow and stuff. And with the beautyberry, it's a lighter purple color. It's very small berries in a clump around the stem. And so I find them very easy to differentiate. I mean, I guess if you just go purple berries and start stuffing every purple berry you see in your pie hole, there is the potential for eating a pokeberry then, but I would say that's not, that's more of a natural selection than it is a more gopher turtles natural selection rather than anything else, because if you're doing plant ID in the wild and you're going to eat something, there should be zero doubt in your mind, like 100% certain, before you start stuffing that in your pie hole. Wow, look at that tree. It just snapped in half. I am impressed. You know, I know this area. I might have to grab some of that beautyberry, get these mosquitoes off of me. I seem to have found a little nest of the boogers. It's interesting. I seem to be on a hill, and I'm near a river, and there was lots of, I think the Calusa. Is it the Calusa that lived around here? A lot of the First Nation people. This is such a unique hill. It's a very steep drop off here. I wonder if this isn't a midden mound. I'm going to keep my eyes open for any shell piles or broken pottery, because I'm pretty sure this is not a naturally occurring hill. That's really interesting. I'm going to see if I can get down on that edge. That is full of thorns. I am not going that way. We'll go this way. A lot of times, and needless to say, it is illegal to especially dig anytime you suspect a midden mound, or certainly any kind of an archaeological site. It could be a burial mound, it could be ceremonial mound, so there's a lot of things it could be. And usually towards the bottom, that looks like a hickory tree that came down. No nuts to harvest. But a lot of times if you look at a gopher tortoise hole or any kind of a burrow or erosion at the base of it, you can see stuff, and it's just kind of cool to see and touch something that's probably, thousands of years old. So we're going to see if we can find the edge of this somehow. Oh yeah, and it jumps down into some water there, so that's just entertaining. Oh. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. Go here, you can see some erosion around the base of this tree. But I don't see any pottery, I don't see any shell piles, which would be indicative of... Gotta stop every once in a while and listen. Make sure there's no big critters running around. So, I must just be making up the midden mound thing. It's been known to happen. Looks like I'm back in a swamp. Oops. I just heard something. Anybody walking around down there with scales? No? Alright. We're back in a swamp. Uh-oh. Gotta stop at that log and tie my shoes, though. And so, this is definitely swamp. Oh, good. We got a convenient log over the pond. Hopefully, this will take me where I need to go. Nope, we got to go back here. Set you down. Sorry, I'm going to put the phone down for a second, y'all. Another one of these cases, if the water's wet, there's probably a wallygator or something else in there that wants to bite you, eat you for lunch. I was talking about I might, over the holidays, do a 60 or 100 mile hiking trip, and I was trying to find a place that I hadn't been before. There you all are, sorry. To explore, and I was checking online at all the parks, and saw that big cypress down in the Everglades had some really nice things, and I haven't done a lot of camping in the swamps in a long time. What have I found? So that looks like, ooh, that just scared the crap out of me. Alright, how do I get from here? Well, I don't think that's Native American there, but that is some trash, which means I'm probably close to the river's edge. But that's water, and I don't want to step in the water because so far my feet are still dry. Yeah. There's an old car chassis over there. Well, it's probably pretty cool. I don't think that's the way we're going to go. So we're coming back across the log. For my Tai Chi enthusiasts, you're walking a log like this, you keep your weight in the bubbling springs. That's kind of keeping your weight centered on kidney 1 for the acupuncturist. If it's not hard enough to walk through this crap, now try doing it with a kratom in one hand and cell phone in the other, and not completely embarrass yourself. Alright. Do I jump on the log and risk twisting the ankle, or jump down there and risk that being not as solid as it looks? I say we go for not as solid as it looks. Oh, nope, it was good and solid. Yay. Oh, there's some more of those beautiful ferns. Losing my backpack. All right, that's wet. That looks dry. Well, you'll know if I step on a water moccasin. Ooh, is that a... Oh, it is. So this isn't a Yaupon holly. This is a Dahun holly. So, Ilex something or another. So not considered an edible, not as useful. Yaupon holly is our native caffeinated drink here in North America. And its relative is the Dahun holly. Wow, I don't know if I can get through this. All right, we're going to keep going. Here's this beautiful fern. Let's see if I can focus in for those of you who haven't seen it yet. Come on, focus. Focus. Nope, this doesn't want to focus. So this is a huge field of ferns I'm going through, and I totally don't know my ferns. Ooh, that's got a cool thing going on. That's nice. All right. Oh, look at that beautiful, look at all those red berries on there. That's the Dahun holly. Although I grow it, I don't think I've ever found that in the wild before. I'm super jazzed. Maybe I can make it through here. A little Tarzan action. All right, so I need an extra set of hands. Oh, that's a wet foot waiting to happen. Okay, that's not going to work. All right, I have to do it the more exciting way. Oh, shit, nope. That's going to have to be a jump. I got to make sure that foot is free. Make sure this arm is free. Yeah. All right, there's nothing there I can step on. You know those stupid games you play when you're like 10 years old? It's like, lava, you got to stay off the floor. Well, here we go.